hit him. Cause when you feel it in your soul, it's the sound system. Let's turn it up.
EA Sports coverage of the NFL brings us to the Sunshine State and TIAA Bank Field here in Jacksonville. Tonight, we've got a great Sunday night matchup between the Tennessee Titans and the Jacksonville Jaguars. The shadow's starting to get a bit longer. Week 10 of the NFL season is here, and we're underway on EA Sports. Taken at the goal line. And he had no room to run as he's tackled down inside the 20. Willis now off of play action. And his first pass here is going to fall incomplete.
How about that? Red man coverage and decided to test him early. But they proved up to the task and forced the incompletion.
So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on first down. On the ground, this is Derrick Henry. 4 yards the gain, and it'll bring up a 3rd down.
That 2nd down play call was not to pick up the 1st down. It was to accomplish what they did to get them into a manageable 3rd down because they had incompletion on 1st down, so they were behind the sticks, so to speak. They needed to make up some ground, and they did.
This defense looking for an early stop. This is 3rd down and 6. Willis now off play action. Working the sideline here. Did he get the feet in? Yes, they say that he did. Nice job tapping both of them down. The Titans get 14 yards there and move the chains as well. They go play action with Willis. And he wisely will throw that one away.
No sense risking anything there on 1st down. Even though he's still in the pocket, he had a receiver out to his side, so just put that in a spot where the only people who could make a play on it are the trainers and the coaches. Well done.
To throw on 2nd and 10. Willis, the throw out to Ross. He's got it. And out of bounds on the other side of midfield at the 45. 19 yards there on the catch and run. So in Jacksonville territory now. Here's a 1st and 10 at the 45-yard line. Running from the gun with Henry. Uses the stiff arm. Andre Cisco there on the stop. It's rare that a man his size can at least push forward for a yard, but they stopped him there for nothing.
You're talking about Tiny? You're talking about the little guy back
Tiny.
there? That monster. Yeah, you're exactly right. And it takes a group effort to get a guy like that down and not let him find some space. The first guy in, he's got to take one for the team, right? Because he's just waiting there and holding on for everyone else to help him out.
Oh, he's going to let this go for the end zone. And this is caught. Touchdown. John Ross, his first touchdown on the year. And the Titans will claim the early lead as they're on the board first here tonight. Folk connects on the extra point, and that makes the score 7-0. Folk now set to boot it after his guys put 6 on the board. And here comes a return from a few steps into the end zone. And only able to get this to the 19, so probably should have opted for the touchback. They'll come out with a 3 tight end look on the first play of the drive. Lawrence will throw. Able to complete this one to Tyler Conklin. And he is brought down at the 22 after a gain of 2, and it brings up 2nd down. From the 22, here's 2nd and 8. Lawrence A quick throw knocked away. It's incomplete.
Receiver coaches preach to their guys all the time. Separation, that's what's going to make the play successful. That time there was very little, and I think they were actually fortunate that it was only knocked away and not intercepted.
On third down, Lawrence. And he's going to have the hook up to Sutton. And they will stop him short. They get him to the ground at the 27. No first down. So 5 yards here, 5 on the play. And that's going to bring up a fourth down. On fourth down, here's Sam Martin on to kick it away. And a fake here. Direct snap to the up man. I know, without even asking, without even looking in your direction, that you are not a fan of that call.
Oh, I wish you would look, Brandon, because I was actually thinking this would be the perfect time for a fake.
Right.
Yeah, you're right. This doesn't make any sense to me at all. This deep in your own territory. Look, I'm all for being unconventional. That part's cool, and I get it. But this deep, I just don't think it was the right time to make that call.
Nice chunk of yards on first down. It really opens up your options for what you want to do on second. You go right back to him and hope he explodes, or sucker the defense in before throwing over the top.
Henry again on second down. And forget about finding a lane. He barely had time to look up before he was planted in the backfield. It's a loss of 4. Now third down.
With his size, he's a tough man to bring down, but they do a nice job there stopping his progress and not allowing him to get back to the line of scrimmage.
So they've been unable to capitalize on a great field position as of yet. Here's 3rd and 9. Third down, it's Willis. Now it's caught in the end zone. Touchdown, Tennessee. Chigakonkwo, his 3rd touchdown now on the year. And the Titans are off to a 13-0 first quarter lead. Extra point up and good by Folk. And that'll make the score 14-0. Folk now set to boot it after his guys put 6 on the board. From a couple yards deep, he'll bring it out of the end zone. And the decision to come out of the end zone is going to cost him 5 yards as he's taken down right at the 20. Jaguars come to the line to start their next drive. In the midst of, well, let's just say a not-so-rosy losing streak. They've got the open week, though, coming up next weekend, so you have to figure this to be a game that they dearly love to have.
Oh, indeed. They have to have this one because that's something positive to take with you when you go away for a few days, and it actually releases your mind. If they lose this one, that mind stays cluttered the entire time they're away, and they've got to scramble to get back in sync when they start playing again.
His first catch, good for 9 and a first down. We've seen quite a bit of the short passing game here early on first quarter, haven't we?
We have, and I think it works a couple of ways for this team because, number one, you throw the short game until they stop it. And if they're not going to stop it, you keep throwing it, and occasionally you'll break a tackle and turn into a bigger gain. Also, if they start to creep up, start to pressure receivers, now you go over the top, take it deep, and now you get some of those big shots downfield. I think he's got to be careful not to force anything into coverage right there. There weren't really any throwing lanes, but the best part for him, he's got 2nd and 3rd down.
And oh, he coughed it up. But it looked like a Jaguar was able to cover this thing, and so Jacksonville will keep control. So possession still theirs, but now they face a 3rd down.
Hey, Haywood!
Looking to throw, Lawrence. He rifles one that's intercepted. Picked off by Landon Collins. And the Titans are going to take possession of the football. It's almost like you can see the look of frustration on his face. 4 interceptions last week. We talked about it all week. What did he do wrong? And another one here in the first half.
And you can understand the frustration. You actually feel his pain a little bit. But the worst thing he can do is what you're seeing right now. Showing the other team that he's frustrated. All they're going to do is double their efforts to make him even more frustrated. He's got to gather himself, compose himself, and keep fighting.
Well, he talked a lot about erasing that loss last week, getting back in the win column. We'll see how he responds. 2 yards on the carry there. It'll be 2nd down.
Well, they didn't get a whole lot out of that one, but I think you've got to continue to try and run and try and keep the defense honest.
You mean or else they'll just sit back, dare you to throw it on every down?
Yeah, you get your quarterback hit a lot that way, too.
The last run got a couple. Here's 2nd and 8. Off the play fake, here's Willis. Looking left sideline, it's complete. And he will reach the 8-yard line before going out. He got 29 yards that time.
And remember, this drive started off following the turnover. And they've taken no time working their way down the short field. A nice connection there, and now they're looking at a 1st and goal.
They'll try and run for it with Henry. And they'll go backwards here, losing yardage to the 14. That really sets them back. A loss of 6.
That was well played there defensively. 2 tight ends in the formation, which essentially gave them 7 blockers up front. Hard to imagine with all that size and beef that they could let a tackler through. But that's exactly what happened. A loss resulted.
They'll give Henry another shot. And they get to him quickly here as he stopped right around the 13. Only a yard there, and that'll bring us to 3rd and goal. 14-0 the score. This is the NFL on EA Sports. Interested to see what they dial up here. 3rd and goal with a lot of green between them and the end zone. Willis on 3rd and goal. And he can't find anywhere to go with it. And he goes down. Multiple players combined for their team's first sack of the game. And this is just outside the right upright. It's no good, and this will remain a 2-touchdown game. So 1st and goal quickly turns into 4th and goal, and then 4th and goal turns into no points whatsoever.
That's a very disappointing sequence of events right there. And I, for one, would not want to be the kicker who has to run over to his head coach and explain that one.
Lawrence's throw into the hands of Kirk. So they still get the completion even though the blitz was on. But the blitz got there. Does that stay in the mind of the quarterback the next couple plays?
That's what you're hoping for. That's what you're planning for. It's a little risk-reward, right? You're leaving your guys on an island back there in man coverage. But you take the chance that you get to the quarterback, and so he gets completion here. Congratulations. Keep coming at him, and hopefully it pays off by the end of the game that you're starting to get to him while still able to cover on the back end.
And they're able to work this across midfield to the 48. Those are the kinds of plays right there that show you why he's the number 3 man in the NFL in terms of receiving yards.
Also tells you there's a full combination of what he's got going in his game. You name it, from route running to catching the football. That's why he's able to produce those types of numbers.
And he is going to lose yardage here. 2 yards the loss, 2nd and 12. The Jaguars at 2-7 now in the year. Yeah, they've lost 3 straight here. It kind of goes without saying, I guess, but they could certainly use a win.
Yeah, no doubt about that. There's a difference between a losing stretch and a losing streak, and right now, they're not playing their best football, but if they were to fall here, and now you're looking at going 4 games without a win, things can start compounding themselves pretty quickly from this point forward.
And he's up over midfield and down into Tennessee territory. 4 yards on the pickup there, and now they're left with a 3rd and 8.
On any running play that's called, they're always hoping that it's going to break big and go the distance. But when you get a nice gain like that, you're able to do so many things anyway. You can come back and run essentially the same play again, continue to move the ball on the ground, or you can decide to throw the ball now because usually you have the defense back on its heels.
And he is out of bounds, but not before he's inside the 30. The 21 yards there as they convert on 3rd. Etienne, and he loses the football a second time. It's picked up by the Titans, and his guys are going to get the football at the 28-yard line.
I know a lot of defensive coaches have certain guys on their squad that they look to as drive stoppers, guys who can make big plays, interceptions, knock it free. In this case, they didn't need one. The offense supplied it for them, just dropping the ball.
Yeah, and that was after they were doing so well on this drive through the air. They go to the ground, doesn't work. They'll start on the ground. It's Derrick Henry. He'll be hit down at the 33, 5 yards on the play.
Brandon, 5 yards on that run. Let's get back to the huddle and make sure if you're back, you spend time with your offensive line and give them credit. Hard to move those 300-plus pounders at the line of scrimmage, and they did for a significant chunk of yardage.
The first down run got 5. Here's 2nd and 5. Here's the option going right. 2nd down, they go again with Henry. And they'll get it up just short of the 45 at the 44. An 11-yard pickup for the Titans and a first down. Blocking at the point of attack there was very strong. He had a couple of running lanes.
And I never want to overlook the offensive line, but that's what they get paid to do. How about the quarterback? Everyone thinks all he's going to do is throw the football. His movement and deception can help a running game as well.
And they went the wrong way there. Losing yardage back at the 43-yard line. They'll lose a yard there, and it's 2nd and 11.
And that's what I'd like to see out of this defense, a little fire, a little toughness. It hasn't been the best first half for them, but they did do a nice job there, forcing a loss on that play.
Now they'll look to Willis to throw. Dancing to his left. That's into the hands of the tight end, Boyle. And he'll be tackled on the other side of midfield at the 46-yard line.
Good, strong throw and catch right there. And so far in this game, the alleys have been open for them to get completions, and they're taking advantage of it.
To the air on first down. Here's Willis. And it's a short one here, complete to his tight end. And he'll be brought down on the other side of midfield at the 43.
I know sometimes we can get fooled when we watch him make catches, as we just saw him do there, because he really looks like a wide receiver the way he goes about his business.
Yeah, 230, 240 range.
Yeah, not super huge. Maybe not counted on to be that inline point-of-attack blocker that we used to have in the good old days, but you can flex him out. You can run wide receiver routes with him. You can make him a primary target, and that's how he'll shred a defense.
And he is out of bounds, but not before he's inside the 30. And a solid job using his legs. 16 yards and a first down on the keeper. Well, he is certainly dangerous when he spots a lane, and he keeps it himself there. Worked out well.
And how about the moving parts on a play like this? You know you have to practice it over and over because it's almost like a ballet that has to be choreographed. But how about once he made the decision to go, he committed to it and went. Let's face it, most teams are going to defend the running back much more than the quarterback on that type of a play.
The last run got 6, now 2nd and 4. Now Willis. Toward the sideline, he will have the first down. Good catch. He was able to keep the feet in bounds. That'll go as a pickup of 8.
Let's make this one simple. What a catch, especially the finishing part of getting his feet in bounds, toe tapping, and of course, foot dragging.
A little tapestry, if you will.
Oh, I like it.
From the red zone now, they'll look to throw. Got a man, and it's taken in for a Titans touchdown. Nick Boyle from 13 yards out. And the Titans have moved out in front by 3 touchdowns. Folk connects on the extra point, and it's now 21-0. Folk now set to boot it after his guys put 6 on the board. From a yard or 2 deep, here comes the return. And he's able to get this across the 20, but not by much, as he's marked down officially at the 21. The Jacksonville offense set to begin their next drive. And Charles, we'll see what they can do here. Not a ton of time left, but enough certainly to get points out of this drive, and they need them right now because they're trailing.
Yeah, this is exactly why you practice a 2-minute drill all through camp, and at least one practice each week before a game. A minute left, more than enough time to string a few completions together, reach the end zone, and then make that walk back to the locker room just a little more animated.
Hey, Joe.
Throwing on 2nd and long. Lawrence. And Sutton hauls it in over the middle. And he'll be taken down, but they've got this one up to the 35-yard line. The Jaguars going to go ahead and use their first timeout as they'll stop it with just over 40 seconds to go in the first half. Throwing now, Lawrence on 1st down. Oh, into a sea of defenders and intercepted. Picked off by Caleb Farley. And he will take this one home. It's a touchdown. I mean, at this point, CD, what is not going their way in this first half? After that pick 6, they now have a 4-possession lead here.
And that allows them to say to themselves, how about we get everybody involved, okay? Because this one is a runaway, and it's looking like it's going to be even more of a runaway. Everybody gets a chance to play and get a little bit of love. The more guys that get to watching the highlight reels from this one, the better.
And here comes a return from just beyond the goal line. And he'll be brought down shy of the 20, so the decision to bring it out of the end zone, not a good one. Jaguars come to the line to start their next drive. Now the ball backed way up, so thinking with this amount of time on the clock, probably just sit on it, and we'll see these two teams go to the lockers.
Yeah, I don't think you want to overthink it in this situation. Either side of the ball. Just go ahead and finish up the half and get on out and talk about it.
Now the Jags will use the second of their timeouts as the clock will stop with 21 seconds to go here in the first half. A good gain on first has them set up with 2nd and just a couple of inches now from the 29. From the gun, it's Lawrence. And completes it to Kirk over the middle. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. Back-to-back good plays have him on the move on 1st down.
When you're struggling on offense, you're looking for anything possible to get you going. Sometimes you do it like basketball teams that don't normally press. You put a press on, bring people to life, make them move a little bit quicker. Maybe that'll help them as they head towards the half.
They'll send a receiver in motion to the left. Final play of the half. It's Lawrence. Well, that's the 3rd interception for Lawrence. Picked by Kevin Byard. And he will take this one home. It's a touchdown. Well, you start to feel sorry now for the young man throwing the football. This is really turning into a disaster.
Listen, it's baptism. All right, this is almost a rite of passage. This young in the league, go back and find a Hall of Fame quarterback and check their records for their first 2 years, especially if they started the bulk of the games. I bet you'll find double-digit interceptions on just about every one of them. They have to learn as they go along.
So we've reached halftime here in what is quickly turning into quite a rout. As we send you a couple hours south of here to Orlando, that's where we check in with the coach and our EA Sports Halftime Report. Welcome back. Charles and I settled into the booth ready for quarter number 3. The Jaguars with work to do. They trail here as we are back underway on EA Sports. From a couple yards deep, he'll bring it out of the end zone. And only able to get this to the 19, so probably should have opted for the touchback. The Jacksonville offense set to begin their next drive. And they have a mountainous deficit looming in front of them. It was really, Charles, a disaster of a first half, so where do they go from here?
Well, first thing they have to remember is that what's done is done, and there's no going back. And now you have to play this drive by drive. Obviously, come back in this spot, pretty unlikely, but you still have to go out, take pride in your work, and try and put something together here in the second half.
Officially nothing on that last run. They'll try again, 2nd and 10.
Hey, box drop.
They go play action with Lawrence. That's going to be caught by Kirk. He'll be dropped at the 25 after a gain of 6.
Good throw, good catch, but I really like the route. The drag and being able to run away from defenders. Hard to stick with them for that long.
Yeah, better against man than zone, or
better against man, because now you're running away from someone and you're not running into a defensive player in another zone.
Now throwing on third down there, but he cannot connect.
Well, this is just a continuation of what we saw in the first half. So much for the fresh start to begin the third quarter. Still off-target throws, no rhythm throwing the football, and obviously no touchdown scored in this game.
He's got a man. It's Sutton that's complete. And he is going to have the Jaguars first down as they manage to convert. And that'll keep the drive alive. A gain of 26 and a conversion there as well on fourth down. So operating from Tennessee territory now. Here's first and 10 at the 49-yard line. Now Lawrence. Open man here is Conklin. And they'll get this down to the 42-yard line. Again, it's Lawrence. And he will find his man Sutton. That's complete. Touchdown, Jaguars. Cortland Sutton, 42 yards. And the Jaguars are able to eat in just a bit to this sizable deficit. Doug Peterson says, let's go for two here. Lawrence going to look to throw for it. And he will get into the end zone to shave 2 more points off the deficit. And around the goal line, especially on two-point tries, sometimes the QB's best friend is that big target, the tight end.
I love how you described it, because you know he's going to have some length and some catch radius, as well as a big body to keep people away from the football.
From a yard or two deep, here comes a return. And he's only going to make it to the 13-yard line and no further.
For most people, the excitement of a kickoff return is to see a long one that goes back in the opposite direction. But for the guys covering it, it's being able to stop them deep in their own territory. How about that incredible form tackle right there? Shoulder into ball carrier, and down he goes.
The Titans offense set to begin the drive. They begin with Henry. The first half definitely went their way, and this would seem to be a great opportunity to kind of put this game a little closer out of reach with a score here.
Yeah, and it's a wonderful opportunity for them, because if they can add 7 more to their lead before the other guys even see the football, that could be the decisive blow in this game. I think that's how they're eyeing it. That's how they're approaching it.
And nowhere to run for Willis. He goes down. D Ford in there to get him, and that is sack number 6 now for him on the year.
Now that was a passer's nightmare. The front door totally shut down by the defense, so he kept going backwards, hoping to find another avenue of escape. It didn't exist.
Well, they're in some hot water now. After that sack, it's 2nd and 21. Here's a give up the middle. It's Gordon. And he is going to lose yardage here. They lose 2 on that last play, so things get even tougher. 3rd and long coming up.
I'm getting a sense that the momentum of this game is changing since the break. Nice play there, and this D is fired up.
Need something from deep in the bag of tricks here after 1st and 2nd down went backwards. It's 3rd and very long. Going deep downfield for Ross. And it's knocked away and incomplete.
2 things you can do in that situation: run and punt the football, or try and take your shot at getting the first down. They chose the latter, but they'll have to punt all the same.
And this is away. It's a high kick, and he got all of it. On the return, here's Agnew. A nice return that time of about 14 yards. And the Jaguars go on offense, 1st down and 10. Jaguars come to the line to start their next drive. Well, we haven't exactly been treated to a nail-biter in this one, CD. And for the 4th time tonight, it's an interception. Picked off by Caleb Farley. Stiff-armed him. Well, to be blunt, not a whole lot has gone right for this defense in this ball game, but that's something right there. Still in the 3rd quarter. It would take something around miracle territory for a comeback, but maybe that's a start, Charles.
It certainly is, and they're definitely showing that there's some fight still left in them. Hasn't been a banner day, but they're trying their best to put that disappointment behind them and find ways to make plays.
A 1st down carry for Henry. And he'll lose lose yardage here. Back at the 41. Officially, it's a 1-yard loss. That's going to bring up 2nd and 11.
I think it's pretty evident. We can say what a difference a week makes. Last week, he ran pretty much wild, didn't he? Did pretty much what he wanted to do. But this one, they've stopped him cold. That, to me, that's good scouting and even better execution.
Yeah, and they stopped him behind the line right there. They obviously watched the tape a few times and made some adjustments. And the lane closes up quickly as he'll get about 3 down to the 38.
We know that old expression, it's not my night. It hasn't been his so far. I don't know if the legs are a little bit heavy. Sometimes having to hang out all day and play doesn't exactly play to your advantage, but it's been a tough go for him.
And every time he looks up, somebody's there defensively. That was the same case on that play. Now a 3rd down throw, but it misses the target, incomplete.
They certainly had good starting field position on that drive, but couldn't do anything with it after 3 plays. Have to admit that that's a disappointing end to excellent field position. When that drive started, they had 6 points that they were thinking about.
He had the distance, but it's no good. Wide to the right, but that's just a minor blip here in what's been a thoroughly dominating performance. The Jacksonville offense set to begin their next drive.
Well, it's a game that they would rather probably forget about, at least to this point, Charles. And one reason is turnovers. A turnover on the last drive. They had the issue in the first half as well, and that's really unfortunate.
And now here is another interception. Picked up by Christian Fulton. And nothing but green grass here, middle of the field. And he will take this one home. It's a touchdown.
Well, whatever adjustments they're trying to make over on that sideline, Charles, this defense, they just seem to be a step in front of them and not giving them a chance to implement any of those changes. And here, a pick-6, and they widen the lead.
At least a step ahead, maybe even 2 steps. And right now, they are thinking hard about putting this opponent away. That turnover, it grew their lead and just totally deflated that offense. Now these next couple of series, you can take them out of the game entirely if you continue on this pace.
And that decision to bring it out ends up not being a good one. Costs him about 5 yards as he's tackled at the 20. Jaguars come to the line to start their next drive.
Well, we're still in the 3rd quarter, so there's some time to kind of clean this up and make it look more respectable now. Or win, that's probably gone out the window, Charles. But I don't know. Do you look at this as a time to just improve and maybe start to look towards the future?
I think you have to find something to play for, something to grasp onto until the clock runs out. And Brandon, we've been around this game a long time. This is an outlier. You don't get many blowouts like this no matter how the game looks on paper going in. This one has turned out to be everyone's worst nightmare realized.
They'll need 5 on this play to move the sticks. On 3rd down, here's Etienne. And he is not going to get the first down as they'll spot this at about the 28. They're going on 4th down. Lawrence. And my goodness, another interception. Picked by Nick Kwiatkowski. And the Titans are going to take possession of the football. What a nightmarish game he's having now. 6 interceptions that he has thrown.
Absolutely unbelievable, isn't it? Hard to believe we're watching this and have seen it. But it just tells you about the game of football. It giveth and it taketh away.
Yeah, the guys, though, that have thrown 6 interceptions in a game, the likes of Peyton Manning, Brett Favre, I think Joe Namath, he did it 3 times.
Oftentimes when you see a running back get bunched up in the backfield, it's usually because the defensive tackle is eating up blockers for others to make the play. Not in this case.
On 2nd and goal, here's the option. And he will score. Touchdown, Titans. Malik Willis taking it in from 11 yards out. And the Titans are able to extend their lead in the final seconds of this 3rd quarter. Extra point up and good by Folk. And the lead grows even larger here in the 3rd quarter. Folk now set to boot it after his guys put 6 on the board.
And here comes a return from just beyond the goal line.
And he will be taken down here on the return on what will wind up being the final play of this third quarter. The Jacksonville offense set to begin their next drive.
And you see a lot of frustrated faces as they are inching closer to a 4th straight loss. A quick throw there going to be batted away and incomplete.
After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10.
Here's Lawrence.
It's a short one here, complete to the tight end. And he'll be upended here after a pickup of 3, getting it out to the 25.
Here's Lawrence to throw. This is Chase Claypool on the receiving end. And he will have a Jaguars first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
It's a short one here, complete to his tight end.
Finding room at midfield.
And they've got it well across midfield, down to the 40 before it's all said and done.
Hey, Haywood! Hey, box up!
On first down, Lawrence on the slant, completes to Sutton. And they'll work this down inside the 30. Throwing again here, it's Lawrence. He'll drop this one off with ETN.
Stopped at the 24-yard line after a gain of 5.
It's a gain of 5. Brings up 2nd and 5. At the Titans' 24-yard line.
61, Max, hey,
From the 24, Lawrence. ETN bringing in another one. And he gets it inside the 10 to the 9.
They'll run with ETN.
Only about a yard there as he takes it from the 9 to the 8. Here's 2nd and goal, operating from the 8-yard line.
Hey, jump it.
Now Lawrence. And this one is going to be off the mark, too far out in front.
And that's another play that's painted the picture of this game overall. It's been a blowout that's been continually fueled by big turnovers and stops for one side and an inability to advance the ball from the other.
On 3rd and goal, Lawrence.
And now here is another interception.
It's Chuck Clark picking it off. And the Titans are going to take over once again, and they'll have it at their own 8-yard line. Another great play defensively. They've been sharp on both sides of the ball, Charles, but that interception means that this defense very well keep them down to single digits on the scoreboard in this game.
And that's certainly something to smile about, isn't it, partner, if you're on defense? Because your goal every game is to pitch a shutout, but you and I both know that's pretty unrealistic. But to hold a team below double figures in a game, in an NFL game, that's certainly something to take pride in.
And having built that kind of a lead, they're able to do whatever they want right now. All momentum on their side, especially now running the football.
Yeah, you're talking about a defense being on their toes. They don't know what's going to hit them next at this point.
No, they went from toes to heels, and they're trying to figure out how to get back to the toes part.
Give him 5 on the carry there, and it'll be 2nd down.
Brandon, I've got to think this offensive line has got some smiles on its faces. And I know it sounds crazy, but they practiced for this back in training camp. They knew they'd be in situations where it'd be extra defenders in the box coming after them, trying to keep them from locking down a game.
Right now, they want to show the world they're up to the challenge.
81 yards rushing for him so far as his terrific season continues here. No doubt those are the types of carries they're looking for here, Charles. The lead in the fourth quarter. This is when coaches that have a reliable running game, they breathe a little easier on the sideline.
Yeah, they love the idea that they can take the air out of the football at this point of the game. That means they're really counting on that offensive line, counting on the runners, taking care of the football. Because you're going to tell your quarterback, hey, no time to be a hero. We're not going to throw it here. Just eat up that clock. And if you have the ball, they can't score.
They'll lose a yard there, and it's 2nd and 11. And the busy night for Henry continues. And he'll get this into enemy territory, but not by much as he's down to the 48. The second down play, not much better than the first, just a gain of 1 there.
Well, that's not a run that's going to make any of the highlight tapes, but they've been moving it well all game on the ground. This is another one that keeps them moving forward.
On 3rd down, it's Willis. Just 2 minutes remaining here in the fourth quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. So the Titans in possession of the football here as we get you reset. They've got a 4th down here in a game that looks to have been decided already. And on 4th down, on is the punt team sending this one away. And that is much too long. That's into the end zone for a touchback.
Ready, break.
Jaguars come to the line to start their next drive. And just looking ahead, it would appear that that bye week is coming at the right time. They'll have 2 weeks to... And my goodness, another interception. Picked off by Caleb Farley. Yet another mistake after the interception there. And gosh, you look up at the scoreboard, and they just got to be thinking this one cannot get over fast enough.
It certainly can't. And also what happens when you get this big of a deficit, you're supposed to make all the right throws, right? You're supposed to try and obviously get the ball to your own guys. But being down this big, you also take even more chances. And in this situation, that hasn't paid off for them at all.
On the other sideline, jubilation and laughter. Here's 2nd and 9, just a yard on that last run.
Panther streak.
They'll run it again with Henry. Uses the stiff arm. It's a nice pickup of 12 yards, and it gives him a 1st and goal.
Well, that's a carry they have to be satisfied with. And throughout this game, they've been satisfied with what he's given them. Whenever they've needed a big run, a 1st down, he's the guy they've turned to. And it doesn't matter what the defense thinks. They feel like they've got the confidence to keep handing it to him and keep picking up good yardage.
Derrick Henry. And they are going to score again. Yet another touchdown as they just add to their totals. Now Folk for the extra point. And this one was over a while ago as they just add on to their big lead. Folk now set to boot it after his guys put 6 on the board. From a couple yards deep, he'll bring it out of the end zone. And he'll be stopped right around where he would have been had he gone down to a knee, maybe a yard shy of there at the 24. The Jacksonville offense set to begin their next drive. Where we stand right now in the fourth quarter, this one pretty much out of reach. And, Charles, I know they're going to be disappointed about several things through this ball game, but the self-inflicted wounds, they've had several turnovers. You have to think that's going to be something they're going to discuss heavily in the film session in the coming days.
You're absolutely right about that, partner, because they're going to have to sit in that film room and watch every error that they made and figure out how to not do it in the future. And mentally, I think a lot of the guys are already starting to think about, okay, how do we put this behind us and get better for the next time out? This, they'll use as motivation for the rest of the time that they play.